Officially recording, everything is set. Okay, so for today, we're gonna learn the ultimate tips to do for real-time facial animation performance in Cartoon Animator using motion capture. So at the end of this session, I want all of you to be able to create an animation, like a full scene. And I animated this. I posted on the Facebook group for Cartoon Animator. I strongly recommend all of you to join that group. It's really useful for when you have any questions, you can post it there. The group is super active. And sometimes people give you tutorials. There's great guys. Gary Pye right there answers to your questions. David, Arandel, Yop. A lot of people join in and answer your questions, right? So I want to show you an animation that after getting some feedback, I got some like observation, like Mark, the characters are moving up and down, and I was like, yeah, I kind of like that. But that was a style. But yeah, I agree. But now that I see it, I cannot unsee it. So just so you know, people raising hands or anything, I won't be like, there will be Q&A at the very end. All right. So at the end of this session, I want all of you to be able to create something like produce an animation like this. Oh, wait. I don't think I'm sharing the sound. Right, let me just make sure. Yep, I was not sharing sound. Perfect. Okay. Woo. That's the bullet right there. Okay, so this is the animation.
Come in. You wanted to see me, sir? Could you please explain to me why did you blow up an entire department store? Sir, I was following orders, sir. And what orders were those? To take out the target, sir. And who was the target? Who? I don't understand the question, sir. Oh. Oh.
And that's about it. So for today, I want you guys to be able to create animations like that. Like all of that was created in 1 hour. No, I mean in one day. It took a couple of hours coming up with like, I think it was like 40 minutes just thinking of what joke. I want something simple, something quick, something snappy. And I was searching the internet for jokes, and then eventually I came down to this one, right? I modified a little bit, but yeah, it's just I had a story that the point is for any of you who here type on the chat like you already have ideas that you would like to animate. Just type me. I'm interested in seeing like, oh man, wait. Me. Let me post to everybody. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of you creative minds there. Mark Dent, Well, Kellen. Ooh, a lot of people. I do too. Very good. Thomas Jennings. Hello, man. Nice to have you here. One of my students, Andreas. Yeah, a lot of people here. Really nice. Okay. So hopefully after today, you will be ready to create animations, right? Erwin, oh, another one of my students. Hello, Erwin. Nice to have you here. So if you really want to get something out of today, I like this quote by Benjamin Franklin. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I might remember. Involve me and I learn. So if you want to learn and actually get something powerful today, follow along. Try to follow along. You can download the trial of I have a quick question for Kai. Do you know how long the offer is going to last? Because right now is a perfect opportunity to buy the plugins, right?
Sorry, which offer?
The offer of the 50% discount on the plugins. Do you know how long it's going to last?
Oh, that was just announced this week. So normally it goes for about a month.
Ooh, nice. That's
Yeah,
great.
I would say a month. Don't
Awesome.
expect anything beyond that, but I would say so, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
So the idea is you can download the trial. I will show you how to do all of that and then check if you want to be doing motion capture or not. So you can try it, decide for yourself. If you decide you like it, well, you can get it for half the price, right? Thank you so much. Yeah, and now let's go to this. If you want to follow along, I recommend for those of you who don't have Cartoon Animator 5, get a free trial. The link was provided right there by the Revolution team. Thank you very much. So who here has Cartoon Animator already? I'm going to need to post the link again, but type me or type not me. Not me if you don't have it. Hey, ooh, a lot of people already have it. Really nice. Wow, I have no one doesn't have it. Like everybody has it. Cartoon Animator 5. Some of you have Cartoon Animator 4, right? Which is because you're using either you're using a Mac or okay, Zola, you don't have it. I recommend Zola and Sam also. Like, well, I only found 2 people not having it. Everybody has it. Wow. And Ferris. Okay, so I recommend you download it. Use this link. I just reposted it again. Use this link to get the Cartoon Animator 5 trial. And again, if you like it, then take advantage of getting it at 40% discount right now. I think you can get it, the software and stuff. I think it's, or I don't know if it was the marketplace. But anyhow, I recommend, I've been using it for quite some time. It's great for when you want to do things really fast, for fast production. All right. Yet if you want something super advanced, etc., there are ways that you can do it in Cartoon Animator. Right. So if you have that, for those of you who already have it, I also recommend getting the project files so you can follow along, or even after the webinar, you can also get what you need. Let me just get the link. I have it here. Here it is. Copy. You can also check. I'm providing everything that I used for this project. The audio. The only thing that I didn't include is the music because I don't have a license to redistribute it. But the backgrounds, etc., everything was created super fast. And I want to tell you the thinking process of creating an animation. So I first going to explain to you how to use motion capture, and then we're going to go into how to produce a whole scene like I did. Would you like that, guys? Let me know in the chat. That would be cool. Yeah. I'm seeing, I'm liberating. Please, says Paul. Yes, yes. Yeah, for sure. Cool, for sure. Lauren with exclamation marks. Alrighty. So I'm posting the link to the project files again, just so you can download it. While it's downloading, I'm gonna give you the tutorial, and then at the end, you can take the files and start producing the stuff. Alrighty. So I'm going to reshare my screen. Let me share my screen where we are on share again, and I need this. First, I want to confirm if you can see Cartoon Animator. You should see Cartoon Animator open. Can you see it? Yes? All right. And I'm double checking if I'm sharing audio. Yes, I am. Perfect. Yes. Okay, I'm posting the link again. Thank you very much, people. Yeah, this group is very alive. Love it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a character. The reason why I use those characters is because first, I like them very much. And second, because anyone on a Mac can also use these characters. I think you can also have motion capture with Cartoon Animator. I remember the first time I did it was in Cartoon Animator 4. Right? I don't know if it was discontinued or something, but I believe that if you already have it, then you can follow along. Okay, So this is the character. The question is, how do I control it? Well, I will need three things, right? The one thing is going to be, oh, by the way, I need to set up my screen in here. So I'm going to put the chat on another screen. A second. I'm moving things around. Let me share the screen. Okay, I moved this to another screen. Can you see Cartoon Animator and the character Philip? Just confirming. Links to the animation courses. Files are what? Okay, these are the project files. Project files is going to be this. Just answering your question really quick. This is what you're gonna get is the backgrounds, right, that I used, and then the Cartoon Animator project files, like every single scene, how I did it, and then the final renders, right? This is the shot from Philip, this is the shot from Roger's perspective, and then the final animation, and then was the trailer that we used for this video. All right, so we need three things. We need Cartoon Animator with the character, and then I'm going to need this plugin. I click here and then Motion Live, and then boom. I now have Motion Live open. Now notice that if I click on an empty space, I cannot control anything. This thing is right now unable to do anything. But once I select the character, it becomes active. But I cannot control this yet. So instead, I'm going to need to open another program. I'm going to go to search and then just type face, and is this program, Face 3D Tracker. It should be installed when you get the Motion Live. Now, question, Mark, where can I get Motion Live? I'm glad you asked. Let's open Revolution Hub. If you don't have Revolution Hub, I recommend you install it. It makes everything easier for all the products on Cartoon Animator. So I'm just interested in hearing the chat who here has already installed Revolution Hub. I think that's the way to install Cartoon Animator 5. Okay, a lot of you. Awesome, awesome. So with confidence, I can talk about this one, right? Of course, those of you who don't have Cartoon Animator, probably you won't have it. So just open Revolution Hub, and then in here, I can select Character Creator, iClone, or Cartoon Animator. Click on Cartoon Animator, and then in here, just click on Motion Live. It's going to only show you plugins relevant to Motion Live. There's two ways. One is face motion capture with the iPhone and face motion capture. This one is cheaper. This is $99 and this is $199. Now, you can click on try and then it downloads that. So if you don't have it, just click on try and it will install for you automatically. I believe after installation, you have to close Cartoon Animator and then open it again. Usually that's how it goes for every plugin. But yes, this is what I recommend you do. Once you have it, the face mocap works like this. I click here, it will also install Face 3D Tracker, and then I open it and it opens this, and this is what it opens, right? It's Face Tracker. It's very simple. You just click on settings. Can we get the action? Says Pablo. We're about to. I'm showing you how to set up for the action. Get to this, and here I am, right? I just activated the camera. This is my webcam. That's what we're gonna use, and I just need to download the exposure to maybe around there. Okay, so first, I'm gonna show you how to set up your workspace. I like to set it up in 3 panels. I like to select this and then press Windows to the left, and then it collapses this to the side. I'm going to put this on this corner, put Cartoon Animator like this with this, and I'm going to have this on this corner. Now, the resolution I like is 640 by 360. You can increase it, but it will lower the frame rate because it has more memory to process. So with that, I'm just going to resize this to the smallest it can be vertically, and then like this. That's the setup. Now, with this, we are ready to start controlling. Now, Pablo, we're ready for the action, man. I just feel like I have no space in here, so I like to press F4 and then F5. That, hell yes, it's Pablo. In here, you can bring those back by pressing F4, F5. I just like to hide them when I'm working with this. So now, look at this. I can select this character, and I need to do two things. First, I need to click on Face 3D. That is connected now. And then I need to click on Select the gear. I can use the iPhone or the Face 3D. The Face 3D is the one that is on. I click there, and look at this. If I click Preview and Space, I can now control his face, right? Now, it's a little bit glitchy. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Anyone here knows your like how to navigate in Cartoon Animator? Just type yes. Can get mine to connect. Lauren, we can help you in the Q&A, Lauren. Okay, most of you know your workaround on the workspace. Alrighty. For those of you, I know some of you, Sola, you didn't know, you haven't even installed Cartoon Animator. So here's a quick tutorial, 1-minute tutorial. If you press Alt, click and drag, you move up and down and to the sides. If you click Alt, press Alt, and then both clicks, and then up and down, you zoom in and out. If you don't have that, you can use this point over here at the top, right here, this one, and then, oops, I wanted this color. And then you need to go back after you set it up. You need to go back to the selection tool, right? Let me show you. I can select this one or press letter Z, and you can go in and out, and or press X or this little icon, and then move to the sides. And then you need to select the select tool again to go to the default, or press Q. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get it started. Look, in here, I press preview, I press space, and this guy is moving. Do you see? But look, I'm gonna shut up. Do you see that it's kind of glitching, and sometimes it is like not moving precisely? I need to do a couple of things to set it up properly. Right now I can control it, but it's not being controlled correctly. I need to click on 0 pose. I'm gonna look straight at the camera and click on 0 pose. There, that's one step. The other is that I scroll down and then I click on smooth head. Now I press here and then space. Ooh, it's now working, right? Now, when you do lip sync, we will be recording something. I'm going to make sure that you select the correct device. The device I'm using, this microphone, is this one, which, by the way, on Zoom, I'm using another microphone. Just realized that. Let me see. Hello, hello. I think that should fix my audio. Now it should sound with less echo, hopefully. Did it fix it? Yes? Okay, fix mic. Fix. I'm just typing it on the chat. Does it sound better with this microphone? Yeah. Okay, I hope so. So anyhow, I'm going to now record something. I press record and then space. And by the way, let me press S. I want to do lip sync, and I don't want it real time. I want post process, because post process is a little bit more precise. It's not perfect, but it's more precise. I'm gonna click record and then space, and I'm gonna do a test. Hi, I'm doing a little test, moving this character. Wait. Okay. This crashed. Wait a second. I'm going to close a couple of, I have Premiere Pro open, so let me close that. I have other stuff open. Sorry, let me just open Cartoon Animator again. Here we have Cartoon Animator 5, which is all right. This happens, right? Is it normal to crash? Kellen, if you have a lot of software open, it can crash. And I had a couple of I just closed a couple of things. Did it. And then I'm just gonna call it like this. Let me just also close. No, I'm gonna need Excel later. Already. Perfect. So now I'm here. Let me push this to the side. We have this open. And we're back on track, which, by the way, now it has a recover thing. The Cartoon Animator recovered from where I was. Did you notice that? Look at that. I don't have to import it anymore because it's already there. So again, this is a review for you. You just click connect and then select the character and then select face 3D. Look at the camera, set 0 pose. Just click there and then smooth. Now I'm going to do this post process and then click record and then space. And hi, I'm doing a little test checking the movement. And if I close my eyes, the character should also close it. Now let's look. I didn't select the correct device. Let me press undo. Control Z once, Control Z twice, and that does it. Now I didn't select the correct device. Here it is. Oh, frame 0. I need to go back to frame 0, press space. Hi, I am doing a test. My name is Philip. Now I'm testing some blinking. And now let's see it. Look at this.
Hi, I am doing a test. My name is Philip. Now I'm testing some blinking.
Blinking is a little bit off. I have my glasses, so I found out that when I remove my glasses, it responds better, right? So this takes me to the next point. In here, you have a face in there. Do you see it? Let me undo this animation, undo and undo. I think that did it. Yeah, now we have no animation. And so in here, I can disable the eyes because I want to do the blinking separately. I want to do it on my own, right? But this is pretty cool. Just this is insanely fast, which again, I wouldn't call it perfect, but hey, like I did like 5 seconds of animation in 5 seconds because it was recorded real time. If I do this professionally in Cartoon Animator and do all the acting and all the nuances, this is at least like 40 minutes to animate 5 seconds of animation. Some of my students here can corroborate me with this. They are taking a training called character expression, which shows you how to do really advanced character acting. And how much time does it take to animate 1 second? Eric, how much time? Eric is one of my students. How much time did it take you? 1 second. Like, can you post it on the chat? Because it is like 2 hours. Yeah. I mean, also because he doesn't have the practice, but if you do this, Eric, if you take this thing, like you want to record 1 second, it's gonna take you 1 second. It won't have the highest quality, but it will be very decent, right? So this is great for YouTube quick production, something that you post weekly or something. So this is great. Now, the next thing I want to show you is that you can select what you control, right? And the other thing is that you can click on strength, and I can exaggerate it how the brows are, how sensitive the movement of the brows are. Like in here, look, I'm moving my eyebrows and it's giving more, like increasing the sensitivity. And if I decrease it, it would be like I'm raising them a lot and it's barely raising. Let me just move it a little bit. You can tweak it live. So I'm doing those tweaks as I'm previewing how this works, right? Either even for rotating the head, I can decrease the sensitivity. So I'm rotating a lot, but this guy is rotating less and less. And then in here, I just rotate a little bit. Look at that. So this is really good. This is really cool, right? Like being able to tweak things as you see them happening before your eyes, right? So I'm just going to return all the values. And finally, you can just exaggerate everything in global or reduce the sensitivity, right? So this is pretty cool. Now, the next thing I want to show you, this is the last thing, is that you can also control the body. Now, when I was setting up this on the iPhone, I was not able to control the body, but on Face 3D, it totally controls the body without any problems. Maybe there was a setting that I was not putting correctly. I look at the camera, set 0 pose, and now I'm going to preview and look. Now this guy goes up and down and I can move to the sides. And if I go closer to the camera, he also gets closer, right? Like, hey, did you know that this is awesome? Right now, I also want to click on smooth body at the bottom. And then I can also do the up and down. There was some people, Mr. Big Head, some people were telling me on Facebook, like, hey, why does it go up and down? Well, you can tweak that in here. The move up and down, I can tweak it to be less. So now if I move up and down, it doesn't move as much, right? And then the head scale, I think this is a little bit too much for me. No worries, I can adjust it. I can adjust it. I like 40% right there. So it's like, it still does get a little bit closer, but not too much. I think this is perfect for me, the style that I'm going for, right? So he can move to the sides and then closer and farther away, right? So this is really cool. Okay, this is what you need to know about controlling. Anyone here is interested in, I can explain to you how to do it with the phone. Anyone here would like to know how to set it? Everything is the same, but just the settings on the phone is, Andrea says, no, not interested. Anyone with a GoPro? Yeah, you can use a GoPro. If you can, there's a way to connect it to the camera, Android only, iPhone me. Okay, Michael Blackburn. Okay, Michael, this is for you, man. I would, alrighty. So let me show you. Again, you get the plugin for iPhone right here. Just click on try. And then once you have it, I'm going to disconnect the face. I'm gonna leave this on so I can show you how I have it set up. In your iPhone, you need an app called Face 3D. Let me just Face 3D. And live face is like, ooh, can you kind of see it? I mean, it's very blurry. Wait, I can adjust the focus. Let me just adjust the focus. It's like, yeah, okay, there you go. Can you see it? It's switched because let me just change the settings to, my friends are messaging me. I want, okay, anyhow, but that's the logo. Getting stuff, right? So you open it, right? And then in here is going to be looking for my face, right? So let me just put myself in here. Let me see if I can position myself in a way in here. Anyhow, like, it's very difficult, but when I have the camera here, like the grid is very, very well, it's tracking my face really well. You just tap on it, and then it says IP address. It has a number in there, right? That IP address, I need to connect phone, but it's not working. Like, I just click on there, and I'm gonna get an error. Hey, the server is not the correct one. It has to be the same Wi-Fi. Right now, my computer and my iPhone are connected to the same Wi-Fi. And so now what I need to do is read that number and put it here. This is very important, right? So I need to select all that number and then 92, 68, 100, 207. That's it. And then I need to do the same in here, 192, 68, 100, 27. There you go. Now I can connect the iPhone, and in my app, it says connection successful. I'm going to connect the body, and now I'm going to change. I have the character selected, but now I need to select iPhone and then iPhone. Now, if I preview, I need to hold my iPhone. If I preview, I can do, oh, look at that. I think the reason why the other day was not working, probably because I didn't put the correct number. But look at this. I think the iPhone, it's more expensive, but I think it's more precise. Even the blinking. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God, I love this one. Now I recommend the iPhone much more. Wow. Wow. Oh. So yeah, I'm having fun. Sorry, guys. What model of iPhone? I have an quote unquote old. I have iPhone 11. I usually change iPhones like until it's not working well anymore. But iPhone, yeah, depends. Yeah, Joe, I have that one, iPhone 11. I know iPhone 10 had it. Yeah, but this is, oh my God, I'm very impressed. I I will use the iPhone instead for this tutorial. Alrighty. Thank you guys for asking for the iPhone because I figured it out better. Alrighty. So now what I'm going to do, let me see. I have a little stand in here. Yay! It worked. I'm gonna leave this on. I'm not using that, but just so you can see what I do. And the iPhone is tracking it much better. Ow. Ow. Alrighty. So with this, I'm gonna stop this. Let me stop. Go back to it has to be iPhone 10 or higher. Alrighty, thank you, Sola. Yeah, you can check on the requirements. Now, the question is, are you guys interested in knowing the thinking? Because this is all you need. With this, that you can now control your characters. But I prepared extra presentation in case you guys were interested. Would you like to jump right into the Q&A, or would you like to know how to set up a scene like I did? Right? Just type set up a scene or Q&A. Which one would you like? Okay, set up a scene, how to control the arms, rigging for my staff, please. Okay, rigging, that's not covered here, but there's a lot of support. You can do a Q, like ask, right, in the Q&A, and we can guide you to some rigging. Okay, scene, I figure out my connection. Yay, all right, Lauren. I love it. So glad. Okay, setting up the scene. Awesome. We're gonna now go to setting up the scene. First is the thinking. I'm gonna show you, I didn't do what I'm going to show you. I didn't do that because I did it in my head, right? I already thought like, yeah, I imagine everything in my head. But the biggest thing that a lot of students don't do is having understanding that the character is a real being, right? And what we look is something that is shown through the lens of a camera. Even though it's animation, you gotta think as there is a camera and there's people in there. One thing that I never showed was a shot where it's one in front of the other, side shot. I never showed that. And every single one of you understood what was happening. Like there was this guy, and then this guy enters and he's talking to him, right? Why? Because I know a little bit of storyboarding and setting up my camera shots. So let me show you the thinking. I'm gonna share this other screen so I can draw. And that's where I have Photoshop in here. So first I need to jump off. I have Photoshop open and I have it here. So this character, this circle is going to be fillet. Let me just put explain that this guy is looking at him, right? Like doing a line. Hey, why is this not working? Oh, okay. This is Philip, and this is the other guy, right? They are looking at each other. Now, this guy, there's a door behind him, right? This would be the. So there's a door behind him. He enters, right? So he enters and then they start talking. Now, where do I want to position the camera? If I want it, I could take the whole thing and let me just take all of them. I'm gonna make them a little bit smaller. If I want, I can do this. Like I can have the camera in here. Usually this is what every beginner does. Like they just show this and they show a background. And all the action happens like that. That's something beginners do. If you're a beginner, I would say, okay, you're most likely doing this. Well, if you want to increase the quality of your animations, I like to do something that has cinematography, right? So for that, one basic rule for cinematography is this, the over-the-shoulder shot. So I put a camera in here. This is how you represent the camera when planning, and another camera in here. So we have an over-the-shoulder, and then another over-the-shoulder. Now, what I did in the video was that this camera was moving closer and closer to where I had this guy only, and I did a close-up. The same I did on this one. The camera was moving closer and closer. And that makes a very interesting shot, right? Now, in Cartoon Animator, that would mean I need one background in here. And because this is what this camera sees, right? This is what the camera is looking. And I need another background in here, right? Because this is what this camera sees. Make sense? So far, so good. Let me see. Just type yes if this is making sense, Pablo. Alrighty. By the way, how about this action, Pablo? Are you getting the action you wanted? Okay, so yes, I see a couple of yeses. Alrighty. So with this thinking, now we can start working. Hell yeah, says Pablo. All right. Pablo Colon. I don't know if you're Hispanic. I speak Spanish is my native language. Muy bien. Yep. Okay, so what we're going to do now that I have this in mind, I'm going to get those backgrounds. I will need this one, and this is just the office. I will also need the like target, right? So, okay, Omar Torres, he says, I'm a cameraographer. So this is how I created the backgrounds, and I loved it. Anyone here uses FreePic? Just type it on the chat. Type FreePic if you use it, if you're familiar with it. Type it in the chat. Yes, Thomas Jennings. A lot of you, yes, all the time used in the past. Okay, this might be I'm not getting paid by FreePic or anything. I just use it and I promote it because it's amazing. First, it's free. You can get a lot of things. Okay, I see Joel. You don't have it, Steve. You don't know what it is. FreePic. It's freepic.com, right? This is the site. Just I'm gonna share it on the screen. Which again, I'm sharing out of integrity. I'm not getting paid or anything. I just love it. Well, now I love it even more because you now have AI generator, right? And in here I can type office. Office interior, right? And then spy agency empty. And I can select the style. I want it to be a painting because for animation, it's really good to use paintings, right? And then I just press generate. And then I get, the other thing that I like is that it's really fast. Look at that. Those are backgrounds that I could have used. Really cool, isn't it? Actually, I use one that is very similar to this one. It's so cool. So cool. So what I love is that you can get some consistency because I just leave that same prompt. And by the way, when you download it on HD, it gives you a really generous uh, resolution. Look at this. I'm gonna just download it with the rest of the things right here, and just look at the resolution. This is crazy. Look, it's 4,000 pixels, so it's really big. So, and you can use it in Cartoon Animator, and it looks really nice. Unless we know the copyright source, we can touch these assets. These are like, because it's FreePic, FreePic pays like they have a gallery of images. Let me just go to FreePic. The If you want to feel good about it ethically on using AI images, I recommend going with Adobe because they pay for licenses on the images, or FreePic because on FreePic they also have a huge gallery that they use to create all of this, and it's like at least that's what I think. Look, if I go to photos and I click office interior, they have a lot, like this is photography, this is real photos, right? So all the photographers get paid for this, right? I don't know exactly how it works, but I mean, I'm not a photographer for this, but I do know that there's a license and you pay for that license, right? So for example, this is only premium, etc. Okay, so they have, if you feel bad about it, like this is what I do recommend. Alrighty. So, and also Omar, you also say you're a photographer. So with that, I got these images that you can check, right? These are the backgrounds that I decided to use. This is a spy agency. You see that is very similar. And I like that it has that painting texture. And then this one, the door open, that's the one behind, but I flipped it. So now I want to show you how you produce those animations, right? I can show you how to set up the scene for the character, but basically this is what we do. I'm gonna show you only one shot. Basically what I do in Cartoon Animator, let's go to the plan, is that in Cartoon Animator, I click rec, right? And then I record everything from this angle, like all the lines that the character Roger says, right? And then in Cartoon Animator, I create another project file, and then I hit rec on motion capture, and then I record everything from this angle where I see Philip, right? All right, show that action. I'm going to Pablo, I'm going. Alrighty, so here it is. This is one shot, this is another shot. Those two are, you can find the project file in here. So how about I show you the finished version of Philip, right? This is the first one that I recorded, and it's, okay, I need to share another screen for this. I can bring this in, yeah. So let me press new, just to remove this. And then I'm gonna click and drag. This is how you do it. Click and drag that file into Cartoon Animator. Right. And this is the scene. So that's the thinking. Every single camera position will be one project file in Cartoon Animator. Right. So this is the whole scene, basically. Now, let me just play it so you can see how I did it. And also, I'm gonna show you this is how I wrote the script. I didn't need anything fancy. All I used is a basic notepad, and it's just knock, knock, knock. And then Philip says, come in. You want to see me, sir? That's all I did. And then flashback, target exploded, right? The score. And so what I did is I had the script in front of me and I was reading it, right? So let me just play it for you. And this is how it looked. I'm going to open the timeline and also open the camera because there are camera positions in here. Okay, so I play it.
Come in.
And then it's his turn to talk. But I don't do anything in here. I just wait. Even the camera is repositioning to the second. right? And one thing that I like to do is I click on this character and then click on face. This is when I'm animating the camera. Then open the voice clip so I can see this is empty space. That's when Roger is talking. But then it's my turn to talk again.
Could you please explain to me why did you blow up an entire department store?
All right, that's it. I got that shot. Now I just wait. I pause the camera so it's not moving anymore because in there, in an editing software, I will cut this part out and put where Roger is talking, right? So basically, I just wait while recording live and then.
In what order?
Did you notice? Like I stop the camera and then the camera starts moving again when it's his turn to talk. Look.
In what orders were those?
And then I just imagine this guy talking. So I just wait in there. And then.
And who was the target?
And that's it. That's it. All the shots that I need from him. And then I do the same for this other guy. Let me just go here. You can check these project files. That's why I like to get you project files so you can see them and then and then tweak them. You can change stuff. Right? Did you create that vector of the back of the head? I'm gonna show you. Yes. Which, by the way, that one you can get it here. I also provided this is Philip back. So if you guys want to create something very similar to this, you can just click and drag this character. Actually, let me show you. Look, I provided you the actor. You can just click and drag into Cartoon Animator. And you have, since I only use it for medium shots for over the shoulders, I have this. Right, and we are 10 minutes away for this. Like his waist is looking at us, but the top of his head is not. So this, I can show you how to create this, right? So if you guys are interested, I recorded myself. This is a process that takes like half an hour, 20 minutes, but I recorded myself so I can show you in like fast forward, right? If you're interested, just let me know in the chat. Like, yes, Jay Gray. You say, hey, Jay Gray. Ooh, I'm so happy to see a lot of my students in here. Alrighty. Okay, so I will show you then. I will need another software, but first, let me just finish showing you this one from Roger's perspective. And it's basically me with the way I recorded. I just recorded all of this, but just skipping Philip. So I just say this, and then I just wait for one and the other, right? I'm gonna have the script right here, and then show this, click on Roger, click on face, and then show the voice clip and show the camera. Let me zoom out. By the way, the zooming out in here, you just press Alt and then scroll down with the mouse wheel. Or you can press minus or plus in here. Right? Those are ways to use. And now let me play the whole thing. I'm gonna show the script. Where are you, Mr. Script? Okay.
You wanted to see me, sir?
And then pause. I wait. I imagine this guy talking, and then I go to this next line.
Sir, I was following orders, sir.
And then I wait, and then take out the target, sir.
To take out the target, sir.
And then finally, this final one.
Who? I don't understand the question, sir. Oh.
Do you notice that the camera is getting closer and closer? Now, because you guys have access to these files, you can see how I set up everything, right? You can click on this one on the 3D. That's the setup for this scene. That's it. I have the background. This is minus 1,000, and this is on 0. And this, let me just select this one, is 380, right? And that's it. Let me just go back to this. Alrighty. With this, are you guys like, do you feel like now you could create something like this? Can you create? Okay, I see a couple of yeses. Jay, Thomas, Zola, Omar. Right, alrighty. Yes, awesome, 100%. I'm so happy. I want to see those. And you can post those in this. Let me just show what group. Cartoon anime. I recommend you create something and please share it in here, right? Like in the Cartoon Animator users, I recommend this group. It's awesome. I'm gonna post the link in here. If you don't belong there, if you haven't joined, I recommend you join. They need to approve you, but they are really generous and just to make sure that not one toxic enters this group. So if you're a cool person, I'm sure you are, you will let you in, right? The admins will let you in. Okay, so in here, I would like to see your animations posted and tag me. Like you post something in there, and then in your post, just write at, oops, at Marco. This is me, Marco L. Diaz. My English name is Mark. My actual name is Marco from Mexico. All right. So yes, tag me. I would love to see your animations. There are other platforms that the group is on. I mean, I have my own group on Discord, but it's paid. It's on paid courses. Okay, so now you guys said you are interested in learning how to create any character and then create the rear version, the back version, right? Is this correct? You guys interested in that? I can show you. We have 3 minutes, but I think I can do it in 5. Yes, yes, okay. I love the enthusiasm. A lot of you are interested. Okay, so let me just bring Cartoon Animator. I had it open here. Okay, I'm opening Premiere Pro. I'm gonna close Cartoon Animator now, just to make sure this doesn't crash. And I don't want to save it. Okay, perfect. And then here it is. This is what I did, right? No, this is something else. This is creating the back view. Here it is. So the whole process took me 18 minutes, right? So basically what you do is this. You know what? I think I'm gonna do something better. I'm gonna instead put it on this other screen. Wait a second. Close this also. I'm setting up. I'm gonna do something better. This, okay. Right now you don't see anything. I mean, you see this, I have it as the wallpaper, but now you should see, there you go. Now you can see Cartoon Animator, right? This is the interface of Premiere Pro. So now I can press this, there you go, right? So what you do is first you click here to open as PSD and then launch it. You get this thing asking, telling you that, hey, the vectors will be gone. It will now be pixels. Yeah. And now I'm in Cartoon Animator. What I do is that I delete everything of the face, like the eyebrows, the mouth, the stubble, everything. Once I remove everything, I like to leave the nose in case I use it, right? And then in here, once I remove that, look at what I do. I take the back of the hair, back 2 and back hair, and bring them all the way to the top of the layers. And then I take the hip, and I also bring the hip all the way in on top of the image hand, the talking head, I mean, right? And then in here, by the way, this is on Cartoon Animator 5. On Cartoon Animator 4, you don't have this, unfortunately. You need to do an extra step inside Cartoon Animator, which is to bring the hips and bring them on top of the face, right? But in here, it's very convenient. And then I just swap the order. Usually, let me just show you a little bit in here. You can see that the original position of everything is left arm, left hand, left forearm. Oh, no, sorry. It's hand, forearm, arm. I'm just going to swap it. On the top is going to be the arm, then the forearm, then the hand, right? Let me just go through that really quick. Look, I just rearranged those layers. Let me go to, okay. this is the order. Arm, forearm, hand, arm, forearm, hand, right? After I have that, I don't like this contrast, so I'm going to mesh it out. I just use a brush, and I'm using this setting, which is locking pixels, and that allows you to draw only where you already have a drawing. So I just picked the color of the neck, and all of that was done with the mouse, by the way, right? So I just put the same color so it looks flat like that. I like it. And then I just, look at this. I just remove this part of, I like to do a selection, and then you can press Alt Delete, and it fills that with any color you choose. I choose the color of the shirt. And then I go in, and instead of the front part of the shirt, I just start drawing the back part, the rear part, right? And I just delete those areas. Now it's looking more like this is from behind. And then again, this is using the mouse. I just fill this. I zoomed out to pick up this color by pressing Alt click. In Krita is a different, I believe it's different shortcuts. So just find how to use the color dropper, the eyedropper tool. And look, now I have the back of the shirt. And then I I just keep doing stuff like removing that's shadows for the chest. And I like to put this little sample to get that color easily. And I just draw this as if it was the back of the shirt, like for the back muscles. And then lastly, I put this for the hips. Lastly, for the hips, I just add these shadows. Now with this, now this looks like he's from behind, but he feels like his hands are going on our way. Let me just explain quickly in Photoshop. I'm gonna jump to Photoshop because this is important. When you're doing that part, you need to understand a little bit of perspective. Like this is a cylinder going in our direction, right? This is going in this direction, right? And that's not what we want. We want the arms going to the opposite direction. We want the arms to go in this direction, right? This is an entirely different direction that would. So how do we do that? We just reverse this to be like, sorry. Okay, sorry. This is going in, yeah, let me do this explanation. I'm sucking at this explanation. Let me put it in another way. I'm going to just draw this same cylinder, this one, and then I'm just gonna duplicate it. New layer. Okay, so just take this, and then I'm gonna duplicate it, and I'm gonna show you how this changes direction, right? I have this, and look at how I can change the direction of this by choosing what lines I show and what lines I hide. If I decide to remove these lines, this one, do you see that now we can see this face, right? This is the direction of the arms right now, by the way. And if I want to change the direction, I can just decide to delete the other one, right? I delete this one. Can you see how this changed direction just by deciding in what, basically, if the curves are going up, I have this in one direction. And if the curves are going to the other side, now I'm going to the other direction. Is this making sense, or am I confusing you guys? Let me see the chat. No, says Pablo. Okay, yes, good tip. For you, Pablo, it didn't make sense. Okay, lol, yes. All right. You were just joking. Okay, so with that in mind, what I did was basically, let me just take a screenshot just to do the explanation here, and then this is how the arm is. So if you pay attention, that's the situation we have. We have this circle, right? And all the circles are like this. So all I did was turning around and put it on the other direction, and that will create the rear view, right? So let me reshare the screen. I'm taking a little bit of extra time. We're 5 minutes extra time, but hopefully it's for the best. So look, I'm just gonna play this in fast forward, and having that in mind, all of this will make sense because now I'm removing all of that area and twisting the elements. Like now, look, this is done. I just draw the elements like that, right? And then I do the same in here, which, by the way, I realized I put all those adjustments in the same layer. So at some point, you can see now that I press save in Cartoon Animator, it does everything. Look at that. But then I noticed that when he turns to the side, the hair goes in behind, right? So I just click on layer, select the back hair, and bring it all the way to the top. That's it. And then I noticed, hey, what the heck is that floating thing? Then I realized, and then I went to to Photoshop, remove that thing, fix the issue, and then redraw it correctly in the correct layer, and that fixed the problem. Now, once you have the character, you can save it, right? Because if you do this for a couple of characters, you don't want to be doing it every time you do an animation, right? So now let me open Cartoon Animator, and I'm going to close Premiere Pro so nothing crashes. Which, by the way, Adobe is one of the most solid software. And someone was asking, like, does it crashes a lot? No, Cartoon Animator is also very solid. But if you have a lot of things open, it crashes. So that's why I also closed Premiere. And if I had everything open, Premiere also crashes on me, right? So if you have everything, let me just pretend that I did that character. All of you can just take it from here, making sure that I'm sharing the correct screen. Yeah. This, you click and drag and you have it there. And if you want to keep using him for over the shoulder shots, or if you just do your own one, then you can do this. You can go to, let me just press F4, F5, and then on content, click on custom, and then just click save, right? It automatically decides it's going to save as an actor, and this will be Philip. I just call it Philip back. So I have it there. And if you want to share it with people, as I did, right, just do this. Have Windows or like Windows Explorer on one side, this on the other side, and then just click and drag what you want to share. For example, let's pretend this one, Talking Heads. Click and drag, there you go. And now you can share that file, right? All right, so that's it. Hopefully this was useful for all of you. You open the chat. Nice. I'm very excited about this one. And
Cool. Are we back in action?
Yeah, before we go, everybody, I'm looking forward to seeing your animation after today. Put it into practice, post it on Cartoon Animator users group, and tag me. I'm looking forward to seeing it. All righty. Yeah,
Cool.
Q&A now.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for that, Mark. A lot of really good tips in there. I think a lot of people learned some stuff. Looks like it from the comments. So yeah, awesome. Thanks for sharing your knowledge with us, and thanks everyone for being here to learn. Now it's time for the Q&A. While Mark takes a little breather, let's do a little Q&A, question and answers. So if you guys have any questions, please put those questions into the Q&A panel, and we'll get to those right away.
I'm gonna share my screen really quick because we still keep getting this. I'm gonna share just my screen just so. Okay, what screen am I sharing? Okay, yes, you see right now Cartoon Animator, right? Let me see.
Yep. I see the main page for it. Yeah, or the system requirements.
Okay, yes. Yeah. So in Zoom, you will see the chat, and this one is the Q&A. If you want your question answered, click on this one. This is a different section. I sometimes see a lot of people posting your questions on the chat. We won't cover those live. Alrighty? But in here, you please ask your questions in the Q&A. Alrighty? Okay. So
yep.
yeah.
Good point. Yeah, that often happens. People are putting the questions in the chat. So we'll quit the chat for now. I mean, you can still chat there if you want, but put your questions in the Q&A. And the first one is from anonymous attendee. Can you mocap pre-recorded videos? Yeah, you can definitely do it in iClone. I think with we don't have AccuFace yet for cartoon animators, so I don't think we
Not
can do
yet,
that.
but
Yeah.
that's planned to happen, I believe, in the future, right? In future.
Yeah, it's pretty soon. We're getting mocap pre-recorded video. You can do it in our 3D software, just not in the 2D software yet. So, as I always tell people, generally any feature that we have in our 3D software, just wait a year or two and it'll appear in our 2D software as well. So you can get a little bit of a preview. And there's also obviously unique things like Motion Pilot and fun stuff like that. So, cool. All right. Question from Joe Maluzzo. What if we don't want to do mocap and just put in audio and move your character through FFD and
Yeah.
whatnot?
A quick thing, Kai.
Hmm?
One thing I promised was a couple of giveaways.
Oh, sure. Go for it.
I didn't do the giveaways, guys. Sorry.
You
If
want
you
you
can,
want you want to do that now?
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do it after the Q&A, but because I see people leaving, I'm like, I want to do it now. Is that okay if we do
Oh,
it?
yeah. Earlier the better then. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, then give me something raw, says Pablo. I mean, Pablo, I'm very transparent. I like to leave it randomly. So first, I'm gonna do this. Let me just, I'm gonna type this. And okay, right now, those of you who are here live and you are attending, paying attention, if you want to enter the giveaway, type me. I'm gonna give away, my courses are not cheap. They are quite expensive. So I like to give scholarships or give give it for free. Okay, so we have a couple of people, right? Okay, those of you who are away from your computer, run to your computer to type me and enter, and just type it once. Don't type it twice, right? So I'm going to count to 10. After 10 seconds, I'm gonna stop getting more people. Already? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And joining more like I mean, a couple of you already you were already in, right? Now I don't have my assistant today, so I'm doing it myself, but I have everything in here. Let me just copy, and I'm going to search for what I typed in here. But didn't I just save this chat? Oh, wait, I think it's, wait a second. Wait a second, I'm having some problems in here. Let's see. I click here, save chat. Chat was saved. Let's see, 8:13. Yeah, okay. There it is. Okay, perfect. So from here on, I'm just going to take this and first, meanwhile, this takes like 2 minutes. Usually in this time, I'm presenting the courses. So maybe we can answer one question and then come back. Would that be okay? So you
Oh,
don't
yeah,
have.
yeah. I'll do some Q&A while you're getting that prepared. No worries. Yeah. Okay, so to answer Joe's question back about doing the mocap, yeah, definitely you can just do facial animation manually. Motion capture is just really a great way to start off. I mean, a lot of the time you can get raw motion capture and then you can refine and add to it and exaggerate it. Like for example, if you look at a typical cartoon, their facial expressions are often a lot more exaggerated than the average person. Like even if I go like, wow, like, ah, that looks exaggerated, but you can always like make the eyebrows go up and like more anger in the face as well. By doing post motion capture tweaking, you can refine the animation and do it that way. I really like to start off with motion capture data and then refine it. That's really a really good workflow, an efficient workflow, to be honest. You can work from scratch as well, though. Definitely, there's no problem with that. It just takes a lot longer, and yeah, depending on your time frame. Thanks for the question, Joe. Next question from Vicky. If I make a head from a photo, can I do the same as you are showing? Yeah, definitely, Vicky. You can do the same thing. If you're doing a simple head from a single photo, that's like is going to use morph morph blend shapes, not blend shapes, just morphing for the facial features. It's going to be a little bit different than what Mark showed, but fairly similar. But yeah, you can do it. If you want more technical details about it, I can elaborate more. You done there, Mark, or still
ChatGPT
going?
is creating the
Oh,
list.
okay, okay. All right,
Like,
got
okay.
time for one more from Len then. Len Walton. What kind of lighting setup is advised for the webcam or iPhone real-time capture? I can answer that one really well because we do, detailed facial motion capture in the 3D realm as well, which is what I've mostly focused on. In terms of getting your webcam or iPhone capture, generally you want a very even front face lighting. You can get like those, when people do like the webcasting and stuff like that, they get those kind of circle, almost like photography lights. Those are often pretty useful because they create an even light on your face. Right now, my lighting is not very even because it's kind of like all over the place. There's light coming from up there, from down here. I mean, it'll work fine as long as your facial features are well defined. You can see the outline of my lips pretty well as long as you're not too washed out. Be very aware of that. If you're too washed out, if the lighting is too strong, that's the worst you can get. It's worse than even being too dark. So just get a very like a very front-facing ambient light that's like a soft light on your face. You can even put like a paper over in front of a light bulb or something like that. Just something to cast a nice even light on your face with no dark shadows. Dark shadows on one side of the face are the worst. So, if I, let's take my phone, for example, and I went like this, that's obviously really bad because you can't really see the facial features on the right side of my face there. And it's casting a shadow on the left side. So you don't want something like that, right? Just an even front facing lighting. That's about it. That's the basics. There's some other details you can go into, but yeah, make sure you have that taken care of. Good to go?
I'm good to go.
All right,
Yes,
go
thank
for
you.
it.
Thank you for covering me,
Yeah, no
man.
worries.
Appreciate it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is a giveaway of these 3 courses, right? These are expensive courses. And again, it's because I put a lot of effort into it, a lot of research. I give my best, and also we give a lot of support, etc. So this is the first one that I'm going to give away, which is the speed rigging. That's the name of the course. And this one is like it's pretty expensive, right? $697. No, that's a package. It's $300, right? Or you can get it in payments. Now, what you get in speed rigging is I go into like a lot of detail about 3 speed rigging techniques. I cover every single step, right? It says no video. Am I sharing? Can you guys see this?
I can see your screen fine. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is one of you, I just took everyone who said me, and I'm not taking any like if you put your me twice, it doesn't take that into account. So you're only there once. So what I'm gonna do now is one of you is going to get it. And this is, let me type it here, speed rigging. I'm taking notes. This is for speed rigging, and the winner is Donald. And who said Pablo? I'm pretty sure you're there, Pablo. Okay, so Donald, there you go. Let me just put this. This is the evidence. This is Donald. Very good. Now I'm gonna remove you, and the next one we're gonna give away is, let me just I'm going to click remove. Let me just Pablo. There you go, Pablo. You're right there in the list. The next one is going to be rigging mastery. This one is longer. You go through 8 levels, and I cover every single thing there is to know about rigging, all types of characters, like taking a photograph, how to break it down, etc., etc., etc. Like I go through a lot of detail, and also we provide some PDFs that allow you to fix your rigs, right? So yeah, this one, we put so much effort into it. And this one is very expensive. It's $500, right? So we're gonna give $500 away to, let me just type it here. This is rigging mastery. And then I'm gonna, let's do this. And then this is key U. Alrighty, key U, that's congratulations. Congratulations. Now, this is what to do. By the way, you need to write like, roll it back. 20. Write to support at to the animation101.com. And Aditya, really cool guy, he will give you access to it. He's handling support. Alrighty. And then let's do the last one. Is this one, a lot of you already have it, right? Because sometimes it's, but some of you buy the bundle of this, like you buy Cartoon Animator and it comes with the bundle. So if you already have it, the actual price for this one is $200. So if you win and you have it, I can give it back to you as credit, so you can get another course from our school, right? So let's do that. Let's give away $200 to, wait a second. This is Cartoon Animator 5. And this one goes to Jay Gray. Hey, she's my student. Congratulations, Jay. I think you already have this one, Jay, but if you like, we can give it back for credit. Just explain to Aditya when you reach out, right? All right, this is fun, right? I love doing this. So anyhow, let me tell you why I get excited, because in a webinar, one of my mentors was doing that, and I'm like, this is so fun. Can I win? And he was giving like $1,000, $5,000 stuff, like giving desktops. And I'm like, when I'm rich, I want to do that, like giving computers and stuff. It was so exciting. So anyhow, congratulations to the winners. Please reach out to this. Let me go to support at to the animation101.com, right? That's it. Very good. I want today's lesson you learned. Alrighty, Pablo, yes. And by the way, those of you who are interested, Pablo, just so you know, I also help anyone who is dedicated. So if you join, we have a scholarship program where we give $1,000 to anyone on credit. Of course, I'm not rich, so I'm not Mr. Beast doing stuff like this, but I do give away $1,000 in credit on our school to get anything you want. And all you have to do is commit to deliver work for 1 year almost daily, like little animation, one drawing. You can either just draw a circle, post it, and do that for a year, and we give you $1,000, right? If you're interested, write also to support about the scholarship. All righty. Okay.
Cool.
That's
Very
it.
cool. Yeah. We got a few more questions to answer here. It looks like we're loaded up in the Q&A. So let's get to the next one here from Anonymous, asking, will there be an update to the Mocap software? I've tested Cartoon Animator on high-end equipment, but recording, I didn't notice any issues. However, despite these ideal conditions, the software struggled to maintain a stable capture rate. Anonymous, this is a pretty long technical question, but it's basically regarding getting the best capture results. I guess they had some frame droppage when they were actually capturing. There's a couple of things you can do in terms of that. Try to keep your project obviously very light. Don't have a lot of pictures. Don't have a lot of stuff in your project. Don't make it heavy. What I recommend doing is when you're doing the motion capture, just don't have anything in your scene. Only have the character in your scene, because you're just focusing on that one character, right? You don't need any background stuff. You don't need videos or other things taking up additional resources. So you can capture that, you can save that capture, and then you can do the editing later in your other project. That's what I would recommend for that. Question from Hadar Co. May I ask which software do you use for making the voice? I think that's you, Mark.
Yeah,
You
I
use
mean,
your own voice, right?
I just used my own voice and I used Cartoon Animator to record it. Like I mean, I'm a voice actor. One was like, hey, one was my normal voice and the other one was like the, yes, sir, blah, blah, blah. But you can also use, just so you know, there's this one 11, this is not free. It's like $6 or $10 a month. Let me, yeah, I'm signed in. So what you do in here is that you can go to voices. Let me just go to 11 Labs. We want to go to the speech synthesis voices. There's a lot of voices. Let me, okay, so it's on speech. So on speech, you can type text and then it's read by AI, or you can record your own and then have it there, right? You can upload your own audio and it transforms it to another voice. So I have recorded myself like saying, oh no, please don't do that. And then make it a woman and it sounds like an actual woman is saying it, right? So
So
it's
you said
pretty
this
cool.
was like $16 a month or something?
No, $6. It's
Six
like,
dollars.
yeah, it's very cheap.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it has limits, right?
Mhm.
11 Labs pricing. This one? Yeah, right here in pricing. Oh, look at that. No, $5 a month. $5 a
Okay,
month.
gotcha.
Now I used it a little bit for a project, so I only use it when I need it. So this is going to cancel in a couple of days because I don't need it anymore. I don't record as much, right?
Hmm. Okay, yeah, I'm always on the lookout for new
That's
options
pretty
for
cool.
voice creation. So that's kind of cool. All right. Anonymous asks, can you record motion as you demonstrated with motion capture, then add auto lip sync later? Yes, absolutely. You can do that. Yeah. That's one thing I recommend. And you can also do motion capture. You can mask out your face. You can mask out if you plan on doing the lip syncing in addition to your motion capture later. When you're doing the motion capture, you can mask out your lips and cheeks
Yeah.
so that they're not moving. Only your eyes are moving, and then you can add the lip sync later. It's a whole nother procedure though. And then another question from Anonymous: how to make a character smile when talking? Even in your demo, all the characters are sad. What's with the sad characters, Mark?
That's
Yeah,
them being, it's not sad, it's like, yes,
they're
sir.
serious,
Very
stern.
serious, sir. Yeah, like all I did was use a deform animation. I can show you instead of telling you. Like, let me just go here to Cartoon Animator. I'm gonna share my screen really quick. Go disable this guy and then just go to actor. I need to go to template. So let's take, for example, Philip again, right here. And you can have the whole lip sync and just have the whole lip sync happier or the whole lip sync sad, right? Or serious in my case. I just press, let me just show you what I'm pressing. Control K. I need the character selected. Control K. And then I click on deform. And on the mouth, I just deform this to be like this, right? That's it. Now, if I wanted him happy, I can just do the opposite. By default, the mouths are more happy, but I can just push it to make him more happy, right? So
They're
yeah,
like
and
Lego characters by default.
yeah,
Yeah. What's that? Oh, the song from Lego. Anyways, I won't sing it. Let's not
yeah,
turn this into a
like
karaoke
everything is
session.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we'll go to the next question anyways. The question from Jennings Thomas. How close are we to being able to use the Ultra Leap controller too? Good question. I haven't heard anything about it, so I can't comment on that. Have you heard anything, Mark? No? All
This is the
right.
first time
Sorry.
I hear about that.
Yeah, sorry about that, Jennings. Nothing coming from that apparently. Possibly could be wrong, but I haven't heard anything. But all right, we'll go to the next one anyways. Ranganathan Duraisami. Sounds like one of those crazy long Thai names. Can I use multiple cameras with a laptop using facial motion capture? Cartoon Animator doesn't use multiple cameras. It's like a 2D software, so you don't really need multiple cameras. You can use our 3D software for multiple cameras, but generally with 2D stuff, you don't really need to utilize multiple cameras. But we don't offer it either way in Cartoon Animator. So yeah, unfortunately not this time. I think maybe when you're talking about the capture, I just kind of read it more carefully now. Multiple camera capture maybe from different angles, but that's also not available. It's all one camera capture and one camera angle in Cartoon Animator. So to answer that simply. Another question from Anonymous. Can you record the motion as you demonstrated with, oh yeah, so we answered this question already. It's a double question. Kellen asks, what's the quality of your webcam effects? Does the quality of your webcam affect the accuracy of the motion capture? Yeah, Mark, have you found that you've changed webcams and it's improved at all, or?
I actually changed from this one to the professional one, and I didn't see too much difference. I did the testing, but this one, like this is the professional one. This one, like the image is very clear, etc., but it was like lagging. So I had to reduce the resolution, and it was basically again back like with the webcam. So I don't notice too much, but I did notice a huge difference when you use the iPhone. That's why I believe that's why the plugin for the iPhone is much more expensive. But the iPhone is like, wow, perfectly. It controls everything amazingly well.
Yeah, the reason I asked, I don't have much experience with the Cartoon Animator embedded one, so I was wondering if that had an effect. But it definitely does have an effect, like you said, with the iPhone facial capture,
Yeah.
higher resolution, obviously better, and you want to have a higher frame rate on your webcam that creates more accuracy, smoother capture as well. So, all right, and Ernie Fraccia asks, does this work on 3? I think Cartoon Animator 3. The facial motion capture, I don't think they have it in 3, facial motion capture. I think it started in 4. So is it 3 or 4? That's so long ago. It's like 3 is like what, 6 years ago now? I'm not sure, Ernie. You can test it out. I don't think it's 3. I think it's just started in 4. So
I do remember, at least I remember when Revolution reached out to me for the first time when I met you guys is 2017, Crazy Talk Animator 3.
oh, okay. Did we have motion capture then?
I don't remember. No, I
I don't
don't
think
think.
so. No, I think it was a year or two later after
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
the new thing was the 360 head.
Right.
That was oh, that's new.
Wow. All right, let's go to the next one. Question here from Joel McKee. We'll try and get through as many as we can in the next 20 minutes or so. We have a constantly refreshing list of questions, very inquisitive crew here. Joel McKay asks, is there an SVG vector format frame sequence export in 5.2? Have you messed around with that SVG vector format?
Now, from frame sequence export in 5.2. Is there SVG vector format frame sequence? I mean, if you do the whole animation in, you're talking about creating a PNG sequence. I don't think so.
Yeah, I think it's
No,
only PNG, right?
yeah, it's only PNG, not SVGs.
I feel like an SVG frame by frame export would be huge, the file size.
Yeah, the PNGs
So
are
I don't think we have that. Yeah. There wouldn't be much of a use for that, to be honest, because it's an editable format, and I don't know. I just stick with the PNG. So I would say no, Joel, unfortunately, for that. I haven't seen it. So the question from Zola. Hi, Zola. What facial animation tool was Mark using before he demoed the iPhone facial capture?
it was the normal webcam. I mean, I have a webcam here, and it's called Face 3D something. Right? But yeah, that's the basically is webcam or iPhone. I was using the webcam.
Alrighty. Cool. Yeah, I think the iPhone works really well for the 2D stuff, for sure, because it's all a little bit of a better result for sure. All right, question from Daniel Gani. Is multicam capture something in your plans for your 3D projects? Okay, so, or products rather. Another question about the multicam setup. I haven't heard anything about it, Daniel, so I can't really comment on that. But yeah, I haven't seen much in terms of even like other people doing multicam facial capture anyways. I mean, there's multicam body capture for AI stuff, but yeah, I haven't heard anything about it, so I'm going to say no on that. Nice question, good question though. That's one I'm not really sure about, but I would say no. Michael Blackburn asks, what is the price of the motion capture? Good question, Michael. If you go to our
I can
product
show.
page, yeah,
Yeah,
go for it,
but
Mark. Yeah.
like I can show you like the easiest way to know the prices of anything is when you are in Revolution Hub and then you see, for example, oh, the iPhone or the webcam. I mean, I already have this, but what you do is you click on this little shopping cart and that will open the thing to buy it. Now, if you already bought Cartoon Animator, you're going to get the member price, right? Because I already bought something, I'm a client, so I'm not getting it at 400, I'm getting it at $200, right? Which again, it is on the higher price, right? Compared to the other one, let me webcam. This is the webcam profile. The webcam is 99, but if you buy Cartoon Animator and then this one is 69, right? So it is a big difference in price, right? But still, I think it's from what I saw, like one now that I tested correctly, I was like, it's actually amazing. It's more expensive, but it's really amazing.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. If you're member, you get upgrade pricing and different pricing stuff for sure. Okay, question from Elijah. We'll go into the next one. What AR, sorry, rather, are AI features coming to Cartoon Animator? And if so, what can we expect? There are some certain AI features being developed at this time, as everyone basically is doing with their software.
Oh,
A lot of them are involving motion editing. They're pretty good. I've seen, some stuff. I'm not sure when it's going to be launched or released, but yeah, there are some things in the pipeline. Basically, everyone's jumping on the AI train. So we're not we're no different. Question from Jindrich Jungman. Can CTA 5 be used for 2D game development? I guess rigs and animations only. Not sure about the characters. Using pre-animated characters and engines. Good question, Jindrich. If I'm pronouncing that correctly, apologize if it's incorrect. But yeah, there's tons of people using Cartoon Animator with game development, specifically with the Unity game engine that is obviously focused more on 2D as compared to Unreal, which is mostly 3D. But a lot of the people that, when it comes to creating animations for these 2D games, a lot of the exports are done using sprite sheets, which are, basically image sequences like we talked about earlier, exporting the image sequences and converting them into sprite sheets. So this is kind of like how, a lot of 2D games are animated because you only have the one angle, like Mario running along and jumping and stuff like that. Like his run is just a couple of sprites, right? Played over and over in sequence, and people generate those sprite sequences and export them into Unity very easily. There's a pretty good smooth pipeline for that. I think we have some tutorials on it in our learning center, but I don't remember where they are. But I did some a while back, I remember. But to answer your question, yes, and it's quite a common pipeline. Omar wrote me in the Q&A instead of the chat. Anonymous asks, how did you change the contrast during the setup of the motion capture? Did you use the monitor screen? I think that was for your demo, Mark.
yeah. This is a Logitech, so the camera. So all I did was open Logitech and just change the exposure on my camera. That's it.
Cool.
Oh no, or maybe the setup, I don't know if I'm answering everything correctly. So let me instead open Face 3D and see if maybe you're talking about when I click here, the settings, you just click on this corner, settings, and then in there, that's also how you change setups, right? Hopefully that answers. Okay. Okay. And then this one says, question, is there a way, link, if possible, to edit the keyframes in the expression track obtained from iPhone live motion in iClone? Interesting. I don't know much about
Oh, sorry, I got
iClone.
distracted with some other things. Is there a way to edit the keyframes in the expression track obtained from iPhone live motion in iClone? Yeah, absolutely. There is, Sam. So you'll have an expression track and you can break that down. You can, what's called sampling it. If you right click on the clip, you can select sample and it'll sample it into a bunch of keyframes. You can also bake it, which is the opposite way. It'll bake those keyframes into a clip. But yeah, that's I don't think we can demo that right now, but yeah, you can definitely do it. Question from Timothy. Is there any way to do this on a live podcast? The facial motion capture. Yeah, I mean, we've had people who have done live podcasts using facial motion capture in Cartoon Animator. You can just, have a background already prepared, put your screen in like full screen mode, so there's no like toolbar and everything like that on the side, and you can do a live podcast that way, as long as your voice is being recorded through the podcast. Yeah, it works just fine. Jessica Jolicoeur asks, if I wanted to use my own characters, how would I do that? I mean, import them in, create your own characters. I think, Mark, you have a whole bunch of courses on creating characters that you just shared, right?
Yeah,
So
and I mean, to be honest, like all what I do is that I learned from Kai. I learned from all these tutorials on Revolution, and then all I do is go way more in depth into more steps and exercises. That's what I do in my school. So Jessica, honestly, all the answers are right there for free on the Revolution tutorials. And I can show you really quick how you can learn that because I learned from Kai how to create my own characters, etc. Just in Cartoon Animator, just click help and then click video tutorial is the third choice. And that opens all the tutorials for Cartoon Animator. And in there, you can just select the one that talks about characters. And in there, just go through a couple of those tutorials, right? And again, don't just sit there watching the tutorial, try to follow along. And that's how you learn. But yeah,
and
that's
one of these days, I'd like to count up how many hours of tutorials I've done for for Cartoon
yeah.
Animator. That'd be
How many
incredible.
years maybe? Try that.
It's a while. Yeah. We'll go on to the next question. Anyways, from Chad. This is related to the last question we had. He says, "Can I rig my own character images for body movement and facial expression?" Yes, you definitely can, Chad. We just mentioned, Mark's
Yeah.
character creation tutorials, and you can basically create your own facial expression templates as well. Yeah, easily done. Not easily done, but it's done fairly easily. Yeah, a lot more simple than other things for sure. Anonymous attendee asks, can you record the motion as you demonstrated? Yeah, so this is a third repeat of that question. Omar Sprite, sorry for, I think, writing me too in the Q&A instead of the chat window. And then Samuel asks a good question here. How compatible is the new Rococo headcam? That was just launched, I think, 2 days ago, the Rococo headcam. Really cool piece of hardware from our friends over at Rococo. They have their own basically webcam attached to a kind of a head rig. I haven't tried it out myself, so I can't really answer that from personal experience, but it's fully compatible. It's just a webcam, basically their own proprietary webcam attached to a head rig. So yeah, I'd recommend trying it out. In our contest, our 3D contest over the summer, we're giving away one of those Rococo headcams, so you can check that out. Make sure you enter that. Question from Zola. How creative can you get with character creation using Adobe Photoshop? The sky's the limit, Zola.
Zola,
Creativity is in your mind.
if you can imagine it, you can create it in Photoshop. I mean, now it comes down to your skills on drawing and doing. So it would be what you can imagine, what your skills can do, and then basically anything like Gary Pye, the king of Cartoon Animator characters. That guy creates characters that if you check them, like, how the heck did he do that? And sometimes the whole face is the mouth. so it's super expressive, and then he just have the eyes, etc. So you can just get a little bit creative with Cartoon Animator and Photoshop, but basically you can do anything.
Yeah, I think Gary kind of just buckles down like one of those mad scientists in a lab and just like, tinkles with stuff and here's a character, boom,
Yeah.
comes out with that. Yeah. That's what I imagine him doing anyways. Okay, question from Haidar. May I know which software you use to make? I think we answered that one already.
Yeah.
This is kind of a double question. Joel asks, can we use pre-baked expressions with motion capture? I mean, I don't know why you'd want to do that. Using pre-baked expressions with motion capture to blend them together, it would be kind of a weird workflow, to be honest. But I mean, pre-baked expressions, yeah, you can, like, for example, you can blend them in, like if you wanted to use the facial key editing afterwards to edit your facial motion capture, you can just, click on expressions, like add expressions in and adjust the strength. You can do that. It's kind of a weird workflow, but it might work in certain scenarios. But yes, you can, Joel, for sure. To answer your question, that's a more complicated workflow, though. Zola asks, I got AccuFace for iClone 8. Will it work for Cartoon Animator 5? Unfortunately, not yet, Zola, but we're working on that. Yeah, I'm not sure when AccuFace, we're going to have an improved version of that for Cartoon Animator, but yeah, the AccuFace is amazing for iClone 8 for sure. Mark Dent. It's like the Batman villain. That's Harvey Dent, right?
Harvey Dent.
Thanks, guys. When is the next CT5 update slated to come out? Oh man, so we're on what version right now? Cartoon Animators 5.23. So we got a couple more releases, free updates before version 6. Probably I would say end of the summer. I think you can expect something to come out. Again, don't quote me on that, but yeah, generally a couple updates per year is what we get. So that's what I would expect. You can use the summer to relax and go outside. Go hiking. Don't sit inside doing Cartoon Animator. Wait for the next update at the end of the summer. Okay, question from anonymous attendee. Can you record the motion as you demonstrated with, okay, I think this person kept on asking the same question. Samuel asks, do you support the Rococo headcam? I think I answered that one, yes. Anonymous attendee asks, does the motion capture work with the virtual camera that is running from OBS? Yeah.
I think so. I mean, you just selected on the devices. It should work exactly the same.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it's just a different
I haven't
option.
tried it, but you can try it.
Yeah, I have just clicked it for fun, and it works fine. I didn't notice much of a difference, but yeah, it does for sure. So, question from Sai Krishna: where can I find all the previous Zoom class recordings? Please post a link if possible. So Sai, I would recommend two places. First of all, go to our YouTube channel. You can search on our YouTube channel. There's playlists for Cartoon Animators, playlists for all sorts of variety of things. The other place I would recommend checking out is the Learning Center, which Mark showed briefly earlier. Okay, cool. Yeah. Mark will send you a link for the Learning Center. Everything's on there. There you go. Okay, that's the Reillusion site there. Our Reillusion web YouTube channel, not webcam channel. That's the Reillusion. Okay, and someone from our team posted the webinar archive.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So that's the all right. Yeah, that's the archive of previous recorded webinars. Yeah. All right. Samuel asks a personal question: how to deal with some advice? How to deal with advice for some of us having creator's block? LSD, man, LSD.
Okay, Samuel, that is a YouTuber actually answered this. Casey Neistat. He says, and it's something that I follow also. Like the first thing, if you have creator's block or writer's block or musician's block, whatever it is, creator's block, first pay attention to everything that you have, right? Like, what do you know? What do you have? And then try to make combinations. What do you like? And you start doing combination. Now, the other thing that a lot of people don't do is sometimes when I have this like seeking inspiration, usually that doesn't happen to me because I have my mind open all the time. So if I'm at the bus and I see an old lady like saying something to her grandchild, I'm like, that's interesting. That could be something for us. I take my cell phone out and then I take note like, ooh, I just got an idea. My grandma saying this on the bus, etc. Or I see like someone being very rude in the line for the grocery in the grocery store, like that is so rude. That is so mean. And then I put my fantasy there, like, yeah, and then he gets what he deserves at the end. So I have another story, right? Now, that's another thing, collecting ideas during the day. And finally, is don't be afraid to be wrong. If you want to get one good idea, just get 50 wrong ideas. That's it. Like, try, like, I want to create a story about a wolf. Okay, then start with 50 wrong ideas about a wolf, and then once your brain starts going, like, stop the judgment, just let the creativity flow, you will get amazing ideas. For Linus Pauling, award, not award, like Nobel Prize winner, he says the best way to get good ideas is getting lots of ideas. Right. So yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Good answer. Good comprehensive answer there. Much better than mine. All right. Question from Anonymous here. I read on Facebook Cartoon Animator users page of new updates coming. Any news yet? Yeah, pretty general question, but again, I don't have the latest on that. I think, like I mentioned, closer to the end of the summer, we'll have an update with some new small features in there. All right, so another question from another different anonymous attendee, maybe. How soon will this replay be available and where to find it? We're going to email that to you guys. So the email you used to register for this webinar, we're going to email that to you. And it'll be, of course, on our YouTube channel. We're live streaming this on YouTube and it'll be recorded on there. But we'll send you the link later anyways. And it'll be available probably within 24 hours. All right. Vicky asks, I had motion capture in Animator 4, but I had a bad computer crash and lost everything. Womp womp. Is there any way I can get it back and put it into 5, please? Vicky, I think you might be SOL there. If it's crashed a long time ago, I don't think there's any chance of recovering that, unfortunately. So apologies for that, but yeah.
Which is why I love now Cartoon Animator 5 with the smart content, because if you lose your computer, everything that you got, it's still active in there. Like all your library of stuff is still active. You can just download it again from the marketplace, right? So,
Yeah,
but if you have project files, then sorry, no.
Yeah, if that's the case, I mean, computer crash like just happened to Mark earlier in the webinar today. We have a pretty good recovery.
Yeah.
Basically saves everything anyway, and you can just restore and recover. Question from Eric Dalnez. How long do we have updates with Cartoon Animator 5 before Revision goes to Cartoon Animator 6 in the future? So again, not this year for 6. Possibly next year. It's not in the cards yet, but yeah, you have a few more updates for Cartoon Animator 5 before 6 is released. So and of course 6 will be the paid update. All the other updates before that will be free. So you got another year or so of updates for free. Donald Poirier, congratulations on winning. I think Donald was one of the winners, right? Can Toon Reillusion characters be refurbished and used in Cartoon Animator 5? Yes, they can. You can take your characters from previous versions and use them in Cartoon Animator 5. You can also technically take 3D characters, render them in 2D, and use them as well. A lot of freedom. The only limit is your creativity, like we talked about earlier. Another anonymous, man, this guy is pretty inquisitive. Are there any plans to update? Okay, so this is another question about updating. I've answered that a couple times already. Another one here from another anonymous question. Can I make custom dresses for the character? Absolutely. We have a whole series of tutorials that goes into detail and creating custom outfits for your characters. And that's in the Learning Center that we linked earlier. So check that out. We're going to do about a few more here. We're almost at the end of the hour, so we'll cut it off after that. Question from Tomomi Takahashi. Can you tell me how to use Leap? I think maybe it's the Leap motion controller in an attractive way, I think you're talking about. The Leap motion controller, for those of you who are not aware, is the kind of hand finger controller. It's this little device that goes on your desktop and you can put your hands over it and do facial motion capture that way. I have one myself. It works really well. I've used it in a variety of situations, to be honest. You can even just, because it does forearms as well. So a lot of what I've used it for myself is in those live broadcast type scenarios that I was talking about earlier. You can have your face, doing the facial mocap, but the problem with that is, when you're doing facial motion capture, it only captures your head, your neck, and your upper body, really, and your torso will remain stationary, which looks really weird, if you're doing something like that. The cool thing about the Leap motion controller is it actually does some
Whoa.
motion on your arms, so it'll capture your forearms as well, and it uses, it's a really cheap thing, so it just creates some more natural movement if you're doing like a live broadcast with a virtual character or something. You can do that. That's one of the ways that I've personally used it. So hopefully that answers your question there, Tomomi. I think that that's one way I've personally used it. And clarified in the next question, Leap motion. So that's, fortunately, I'm talking about the right thing. I'm not talking about some other leap. But yeah, that's one way that I think is good to use it. Idrissa Traore asks, once I master rigging, can I make good money selling characters on the Realization website? You can ask Gary Pye about that. He's an Australian millionaire. Mark mentioned Gary earlier. He basically creates a whole bunch of characters, sells them on the marketplace and content store, and makes a bundle off of that. You can ask him how much, if you join the Realization, the Cartoon Animator users website, maybe you can pose that question to him. Joe asks, where is Mark's dog right now? I think I heard your dog barking in the
Yeah,
background
my
earlier,
dogs.
right?
I have 4 dogs, so it's a mess. When one
Oh,
is
four
quiet,
dogs. That's
the other one
insane.
is running
Do
about.
you live on
Yeah.
a farm or something?
I mean, in the city, but it's like a big patio. Yeah,
Okay,
we just love dogs.
good, good. Last question. Anonymous, are either of you guys married? I'm not married. Are you married, Mark?
I'm not married. Let's get married. No, like we're
I
not.
can get a Mexican
I,
citizenship.
I'm married to my job, but yeah, like but not married.
Good answer. Good answer. Pablo says they're overrated. I agree. We're both overrated. We look good, but we're overrated for sure. All right. Anyways, all right. I think that answers all of our questions, and we're pretty
All
much ending
right, we
right on
did
time
it.
here. Yeah, we got right on time at the end of the hour. So awesome. Thanks everyone so much for being here today with us, and thank you again, Mark, for sharing your knowledge with us, offering those free courses, and congratulations to all the winners. Don't forget to fill out the survey and get the 10% discount for the content store. And anything else to add there, Mark?
Just the winners, remember to write to support at 2D Animation 101 saying that you're the winner. He already is expecting Donald Poirier, you, and Jay Gray. All right, I sent him a message, so he's expecting you guys. All right.
Awesome.
Okay, take care, everybody.
All right. Adios. See you guys later. Thanks, Mark.